And we are rolling. What up? This is Smart and Mild Podcast.
What up, Smart and Mild?
We out here.
Out here, y'all. If you haven't known, if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Cameron Studdy. How y'all doing?
I'm LJ Stead.
We are Smart and Mild. You know, fucking talking about hot topics, smart things, fun shit. You know, getting pumped about it, yelling at people. It's a great time.
Yeah, I mean, some topics are smart, some topics are mild.
Yeah.
Everything hot topics.
Everything hot topics, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, today's been a weird week, you know what I mean? It's been a long week, but a little bit of a weird week. You know, some people are getting kicked off planes for masks. Sure. People are getting off because they're rich and black. You know, there's also a lot of racial components. Everything is strange in America happening right now.
I think we're getting back to normal, actually, what's going on.
To normal.
It feels nice.
It almost feels like the early 90s a little bit.
I'm really starting to like the news cycle again.
Yeah.
It's getting better. We still have, obviously, like, big hardcore threads of fabric and society and culture that we're all dealing with collectively.
Yeah.
But then we got some of that BS back.
Some of that BS back. You know, I'm really pumped about it, you know. I don't know if you heard, there's a story going out right now about the Spirit Airlines.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if you've been on Spirit. Have you taken a Spirit Airlines flight before?
I flew regularly Spirit Airlines for a while.
Oh, okay.
So so when I was living in San Francisco about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah. So you're not as rich as I thought.
Spirit, no.
Okay.
It's not there.
Okay, yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know what our follower count is at. It's skyrocketing.
Yeah, skyrocketing.
You know, we counted on a few hands. I think now that we're past 2 hands worth.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it at 100.
Yeah, we're past two my hands and your hands actually in subscribers. And we're almost past my hands, your hands, and Curly Headed Overlord's hands.
Yeah.
We're almost past that.
So that's crazy.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, so I actually got turned down for a Spirit Airlines credit card about 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. I was going to become a member.
Damn.
And Spirit Airlines checked my credit and they were like, "Oh, look, we service the brokest, but that's no.
Fuck no.
Not it.
No, you ain't the one.
No.
And that's really funny because like you know, at the end of the day, broke people fly Spirit Airlines, but you know, somehow there's a lot of privilege there. But like,
well, it's the city bus of the sky.
Yeah, I mean, but all our planes basically glorified buses.
Wait, so you haven't been on Spirit Airlines?
No, I have been on Spirit Airlines.
It's different.
Oh yeah, no, I felt the seat. Like
the difference between Delta and Spirit, it's the difference between a city bus and whatever else would be nicer.
No, actually, the seats on a Spirit Airlines flight is actually worse than a bus because it's literally you're sitting on metal with like a half of centimeter of cushion. It's sad.
The only thing I've ever felt better about with Spirit is their planes.
Yeah,
it always feels like they have some brand new, nice. Just you're hitting the takeoff, boom. You're going.
Yeah, but it's a little shaky. Every time I like get on a Spirit Airlines flight, like minus the cheapness and minus all this shit, it's always a little like when it lands, just has a little bit of jiggle. You know what I mean? And you know, it adds to the excitement.
But there's always people yelling at each other. There's a lot of babies crying.
Yeah.
There's couples just getting up in each other's grill.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard that story of the flight attendant went up to a crying baby or a baby, the 2-year-old baby that didn't have a mask on. You're like, put your mask on. Like people are so have this whole complex about like I will police everyone who was not wearing a mask. The fact that like there's a flight attendant went up to a 2-year-old, he'd be like, that's eating, and he'd be like, yo, you need to put your fucking mask on or we're gonna kick you off the flight. And you know what they did? They kicked everybody off the flight and then brought him back on and then kicked the fucking flight attendant off.
See, that's America being back. That's what I mean.
Back. Because at first, you saw the video, you thought there was going to be outrage. You'd be like, wow, how could this family get kicked off the plane? They were Jewish. Of course they weren't going to get kicked off. They were going to be back and doing it wrong. Anyway, but in all reality, everyone was in support of this family. They're like, yeah, like this is ridiculous. Why would you kick this family off? And then they literally unloaded everybody and then be like, yo, this flight attendant is a problem.
Was the flight attendant out of control?
She was getting a little weird. Like she was like,
it was getting dicey.
Kind of like the LA Sheriff's Department, like a little bit too big of a dick with nothing really in it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. That analogy works for me.
Yeah. And if I get shot for saying that, I apologize. You know, Villanova, you're still a bitch, but it happens like that sometimes. I'm so sorry. Wow.
Is that our captain?
Yeah. That's the
or chief.
Chief of Los Angeles Sheriff's Department or whatever.
Yeah. I have a hard time sometimes knowing, so there's chiefs and then there's captains and there's lieutenants.
Yeah.
And all of them think that is basically saying I got it all.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, the higher you go, I feel like the fatter you're allowed to get. And somehow I don't get what the point is. I'm like, yeah, like I get that you have a desk job now, but like you don't have any physical training at a captain or lieutenant or anything like that. It's a little strange,
Yeah, I mean, you kind of wish they could do a Spartan race, Ironman, something.
Like you would imagine, you almost want to be like a inspiration to your fellow officers to be like, yeah, you get physically fit when you get up this. But no, not really. You just get lazier and lazier.
But maybe over time, you just learn how to work with it. Yeah. There has to be some sort of athletic requirement that is like quarterly, no? Not, or yearly at least.
I mean, you look at the Villanova, and apparently freaking not. I mean, the guy got a big stomach. I doubt he can run a quarter mile, my guy. Like maybe he can run the walker, maybe the stepper a little bit. But I mean, long story short is Villanova's really not doing his job in the LA Sheriff's Department. He's doing a terrible job. We're trying to figure out we weren't even supposed to be talking about this, but it started to spiral out. But like you heard of like the gangs. The gangs and policing the East LA and
it's the gang task force.
Yeah, the gang task force and over in the desert and Palmdale and stuff like that, just shooting motherfuckers and getting unchecked. But my point is Villanova's fat. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah.
And this is episode 14. We are rocking and rolling today. We are happy to be back.
Yeah, very happy. If they didn't know, a couple weeks ago, you got corona.
Straight up
COVID as fuck.
And I think I'm a long hauler.
Yeah.
Still, a little slouchy, but surviving it, feeling great about it.
Yeah. I'm glad you're feeling good, man. Like I love to talk to you and have these really spirited and intellectual talks with you. It really sparks joy into my soul.
It's what it's all about. It's all good fun. Happy to just be feeling healthy. People always ask you how you're feeling after you've had COVID. No, my only answer is
blessed.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
That feels kind of weird.
That is good, man. I'm glad. Some people have it good,
right?
And some people not so good. I'm glad it wasn't that bad.
It's the way that it is. It's but we're surviving.
Yeah. Are you having neurological and symptoms after COVID? 34% apparently are having some issues with their brain after they had COVID.
Yeah, like if I have like some like long hauler thing happening. Yeah. I don't think so.
Right.
I think for a second there, I thought that maybe I was going to feel tired for a longer period of time. But I'm pretty sure that I've kicked it at this point.
Right. Cool, man. Cool. I'm having some issues with Wi-Fi. I'm trying to get to our
YouTube.
Let's
see. I'm gonna just check actually that we have everything up and running.
Yeah. Let me give us 1 second.
There we go.
To make sure.
Okay.
Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, we get it. Yeah. Patty Yo-Yo. Oh my God, yo, Patty Yo-Yo. We remember you. How you doing, man?
Yeah. Back in the place?
Yeah, back. Patty Yo-Yo. We remember you.
Back in the place. I love to see it.
Hell yeah, man. We love it. So yeah, man. It be like that sometimes. You know what also be like that sometimes? Yeah, my man. If you see my guy's video of Paul Pierce, he it is what it is.
So I've seen only the smallest clip ever, so I come at it just like hearing the quick bit.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing Shaq laughing about it.
Yeah.
Him and Shaq are not friends? Or you think they're buddies?
I think they're buddies. I think they're fun because they do TNT. They used to do TNT together.
Because this is one of those things where it's not making Paul Pierce's life fall apart.
No.
He's kind of loving it.
He's actually turning into a little bit of a legend because of this,
Okay, so you think it's good for his brand?
A little bit because it's not everyone that saw that video was rocking with him. He'd be like, "Yo, this is my guy Paul Pierce." He gets fired for that. That's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, and but for a second he was surprised that he got fired, right?
Right.
People got to realize you're going to get fired if you're ESPN.
Right.
It's Disney.
Yeah, it's Disney.
When you're working for Disney, you're going to be getting fired for it.
Right, you're going to be. Yeah, no problem.
Those girls are putting in work.
I got to tell you, man, if you're at Paul Pierce's house, who knows how much you got paid to be there, and you're getting a whole live a whole 350 live viewers. Hey, you got a 350 live viewers. Break that back. It was actually really funny because Paul Pierce got fired obviously because of it, And the whole talk was like, hey, like Paul Pierce has a $1.5 million salary to lose it all for some twerking girls, and it's quite hilarious. I mean, but you know, if he didn't get fired, I mean, who knows? There probably would have been a lawsuit saying, you know, they touched him or something like that.
I've never been to a party like that.
Really?
That party that was a loose party. They were rocking and rolling. That is just different.
Yeah.
Like, those girls were putting in work.
Yeah. I think it was for Paul Pierce's son's birthday or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his son's birthday. Yeah, that's nuts. And I'm like, yo, like, you know, if my dad did that for me, I'm like, shout out.
I loved it how people in the chat were like, yo, bro, where's your wife?
Where, don't you have a wife? And he'd be like, he's like, he didn't really care.
It's so funny.
Yeah. I gotta give
it
to my man. I didn't really like Paul Pierce for the longest time because I am a Lakers fan. I know I'm wearing a New York shirt, New York jacket. I got it for cheap and it looks good. So don't get on my head about it. I'm a LA Lakers fan till I die. But however, you know, I'm not really a Celtics fan at all. But now I am a full blown Paul Pierce fan because of what he did.
So this totally brings his clout up for you.
Up.
You're like, this is nice.
Stock up. Yeah, I bought the dip. Yeah.
Is he maybe 45-year-old man?
Something like that. Something.
So he's still living life. He's still young.
He got time. Yeah. He's still doing a thing. And but I mean, what is next for Paul Pierce is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is he just gonna go to FS1? If he's gonna start his whole network? I mean, he has money to start his whole network himself, and just with NBA players, and they can have their own thing. Just saying.
Yeah, he's got a Truth, the basketball league. He's helping out young kids.
Right.
He'd be fine.
You know, I'm thinking, what would be wrong with all like basketball players almost essentially like starting their own TNT on YouTube? You know what I mean? Like, they don't need any like long back or they don't need as much stuff as TNT does if they just start like just a basketball review board on TNT or something, or on YouTube or something.
Well, and it's interesting to do this with you and realize that it doesn't take much to make it rock.
No.
The only reason people aren't watching is the fact that we're nobody.
Yeah.
But Paul Pierce rocking live every single night.
Somebody.
People will be listening.
Yeah, and if he gets other basketball players on, everyone will listen. Like,
and the girls are still there.
Oh my God, they're like twerking
in the review. Him and Shaq sitting and just chilling.
Yeah,
throwing out some dollars.
Yeah.
Sons are just hanging out with them. They're asking their boys like, well, what do you think?
Yeah. He's like, the Knicks suck. The Knicks suck today. They're gonna play the Celtics. Throw some dollars.
But hey, babe, what do you think about the Celtics?
He's like, oh, you know, I really think they're gonna be doing good, but I don't really like Jason Tatum. And then they're just like, okay, go back to your hole over there. And
poor girl would be
here's some dollars.
My dad was your biggest fan. And he'd be like, oh,
gotta go. Or maybe stay. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, your dad, are you sure? You were watching me as a kid too, girl? No, that's horrible. So anyway, no, Paul Pierce's stock does not go down from this. Like, I think truly, like, all the Twitter world was like, yeah, Paul Pierce, like, we love you for this. And he's gonna do better at the end of the day. And he's already rich. He's fine. He's gonna be okay. I promise you that. Yeah.
I love it.
He's gonna be okay. But you know, this does set a precedent. You know, ESPN be firing MFers for any type of reason. You know,
they're just letting it rock now.
Yeah, but
they like in a sense that it seems like they clean house. Mm-hmm. There is probably times where things get stagnant.
Yeah,
and you just like, actually, you know what? We've been looking for change.
Yeah, but Paul Pierce was not. He just got fired for that. But like, everyone loved Paul Pierce. Like, everyone loved Shaq watching. You know, everyone loved Shaq watching those shows. I keep saying TNT and ESPN, and they're totally different. You know, but everyone loves those guys. And then you got, you know, all these you have all these like people like out, like, I don't know, like, they're just you have all these people like you know, the Stephen A. Smiths and the what's the other guy's name? The all these shows in ESPN.
Yeah.
I feel like not many people are watching it
Skip
anymore.
Bayless.
These only like, older people are watching it, in my opinion. Like, when's the last time you've seen First Take or FS1 or Undisputed? Or
yeah, I mean, I am one of those people that I am pretty podcast heavy.
Yeah.
Obviously influenced by like the Barstool Sports kind of people.
Yeah, Barstool, yeah.
I just like the way that's more free flowing.
Right.
And I like my 24-hour news update kind of through Instagram.
Yeah.
And so I rarely find myself jumping on ESPN to figure out anything.
Right.
Those common threads still, or like let's say Barstool, it's I still find myself a little bit lost in always knowing what's happening.
Yeah.
Like this whole NCAA tournament kind of passed through me.
Yeah, passed right on by.
Like I don't know. I saw the championship was on. Yeah. Watched a half of it.
Mm-hmm. Who are you going for, by the way?
I was going for Gonzaga.
Oh, nice.
There was a Minnesota guy on there.
Oh, nice.
So Suggs was from Minnesota. Didn't know about that until second half.
Okay.
So very late to the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
But Minnesota.
Hey, I wasn't really paying attention too much about to that game, but basically like it was. I mean, shout out Gonzaga. They won. No, excuse me. Baylor won. Baylor won.
Yeah.
People were going for Gonzaga because of whatever reason. I was going for UCLA obviously. Or USC.
No, I wanted UCLA. I would rather have USC though.
Right. Yeah, me too.
All day.
Yeah, me too. Genuine. I always, if people don't know too much about LA, like USC feels like the underdog school in a way, like the down to the pavement because it's right below downtown LA. It's over there. Then you got UCLA, who's like in the bougie Brentwood neighborhood.
Yeah.
So everyone has like a little chip on their shoulder when they go to UCLA.
But USC though is as far as like it's like the fraternity fuckboys.
Right.
It's all like the rich white people. But UCLA, it's weird how it kind of flips flops when it comes to like the players. Because I honestly always feel like USC is like more ballers, where the UCLA is like these kind of random hodgepodge kids a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's just a difficult school to get into, right?
I mean, they're both difficult as hell to get into, but I feel like
you can pay to play though in USC.
Yeah, I mean,
or if you ball.
Yeah, pay to play. What's that one chick's name that just paid for her daughter to go to school there, like no problem, Hey, it'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes I feel like, but also I feel like a bunch of people do that. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day.
Yeah. I just like how USC. I feel like the guys in that program are going to be pros.
Yeah.
And
USC,
UCLA. They can decide if they want to be doctors or pros,
right?
When they're done with it,
right? Or motivational speakers, one of the two.
100%.
Yeah. USC players, they go like Reggie Bush, all of those guys, like ballers. But at the same time, Russell Westbrook came from UCLA, and so did the Ball brothers.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that. But I mean, whatever.
Matt Leinart from USC, just cross-eyed. He's got dumb eyes.
Yeah,
that's when you know the quarterback's not going to work out for you.
No. If you got a cross-eyed eye, I don't think much is going to work out for you. That's all. But yeah, man. We got it. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you in the back right corner, we got our sponsors.
Oh, they're still here with us.
Yeah. So Hair Razor Coffee. We've been drinking Hair Razor Coffee for how long?
Since episode 3, maybe?
Yeah, episode 3. I promise you we're not doing cocaine. We're just drinking coffee.
Yeah.
And we're very hyper about it. So shout out to Hair Razor Coffee.
They're out of Santa Barbara. We are in a dispute with them. We go heavy into that dispute. I think around episode 12.
Yep.
We're having just some battles with them.
Yeah. It's still in the courts. We're still trying to figure it out because Hair Razor Coffee doesn't want to pay us. And we're still trying to figure out that pay structure out. But
and just like Amazon, they're not respecting the union that we formed.
Yeah.
So we have a union formed between me and you, Influencers Podcast Association Union.
Yeah.
For mankind.
Yep.
Or womankind. And we just demand higher pay than free.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's it. And they're like, yeah, we'll repost your content or whatever. But but fucking pay us. Or we'll get another coffee company to sponsor us. One of the two. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So, we have. So anyone that's watching us that would like to sponsor us in the future, we love to put you right on the corner, right behind LJ and or me. And we just love to have you.
Happy to be here.
You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be here. It's just, I'm speaking fast. I'm having a good time. I'm hot as fuck. Just happy to be here.
What's been coming across your news desk? So.
A bunch. So, I mean, there's some serious things. There's some not so serious things. I want to talk a little bit about these vaccine passports because I am sick of this talk. I don't want a vaccine passport. I am so opposed. I can't even stress. And, some people are with me and some people are not. It's such a mixed, diverse, controversial issue.
And just to preface this before we get into it.
Yeah.
Especially probably the Reddit audience, we're looking for a guy.
Yeah.
We're looking for a guy that can help us get a passport.
Yeah.
Just shoot it out in the airwaves.
Colombian.
If you could link up.
Yeah.
We're looking for a guy.
Yeah. I'm sorry not
just something that I can, get a passport from.
Yeah.
So I can start flashing.
I mean, technically, right? Like it's like what do you need? Like it's probably a QR scan barcode.
It's going to be like college. So you're going to go to your typical headshot photo spot down the street.
Yeah.
That do like, passport photos. You're just going to ask for the small little photo. Yeah. You mail it in, and then they're going to mail you back. Boom.
Yeah, but it's going to be on your phone. They want all tech now.
Yeah, see, I mean, I don't know if my old people that used to fake my college IDs.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do that yet.
Right. I don't know if they can fake QR codes. QR codes are essentially unlimited on how many times they can change. So a couple things like, but what if I have a flip phone? Wait, I can't travel because I have a flip phone?
That's the funny part. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to happen. Like, if I'm old or I just don't F with technology because I don't like it for whatever reason, because you require vaccine passports on our fucking phone now, I will put my actual phone in my bag and bring a flip phone just to say screw you.
I would have a hard time believing that they would stop us from being able to travel from state to state. I would understand that there would be some international travel that will probably have some more stickiness to it in order to make it happen.
Right.
But when they want to talk about, voter suppression in Georgia for asking for an ID, and then now to be able to move around freely, you have to jam something in your arm that you know nothing about in order to move forward.
Right.
That just seems like a sticky situation.
It's a bit weird, I'm trying to figure out, because in the space of having like a vaccine passport. Okay, so first of all, the U.S. and the Joe Biden administration is not going to require people to have a vaccine passport, so they say, right? But however,
they're sticking to it.
So far they say.
Okay.
But and they said this had no interest of requiring vaccine passports, but they're letting corporations do whatever the hell they want, right? So cruise ships, for instance, they don't want to have another outbreak again. They don't want to have another shutdown. Cruise ships have to move to make money, right? And they have to have people to pay to make money. And if they have another outbreak, people are going to be fearful to go on cruise ships, to be stuck on a cruise, to go to Cancun again. So they're likely to require vaccine passports in the future.
I would stagger it. So I would do a vaccinated trip, and then I would do an unvaxxed trip. So just switch it up. Because you go 7 days, you go 7 day trips, boom.
Yeah.
So twice a month you get a vax trip, twice a month you get a unvaxxed.
Yeah.
Great. And whose trips can be more fun?
The unvaxxed trips. Because we don't give a fuck. Matt, what about the staff? What about the staff from like fucking Philippines and shit?
I want an unvaxxed staff.
Unvaxxed staff. Everyone unvaccinated, including the fucking the what do you call it? I'm calling the boat pilot. What an idiot. The captain. The captain.
I saw a meme of this person that was traveling. They said the girl in front of her said she was vaxxed and waxed, and she's ready to party.
Oh, that's a great phrase.
Wild.
Vax, wax, and ready to party.
Yeah,
that sounds fantastic. I'm like, that's funny. I'm neither. But anyway, so cruise ships are going to start requiring vaccine passports, and so I wouldn't be surprised if airline companies do the same. So say you get Delta Airlines, right? And you're like, yeah, listen, because we have international flights, or we don't want any outbreaks on the plane. We want everyone to require a vaccine passport to get on a Delta Airline planes. United, American, Southwest are going to be like, I don't want to be left out. I kind of want to join in this little party.
No, I get it. Delta is a superior airline. They have a clientele that's probably a little bit more progressive left because they've probably gone to college.
You put airline passengers in sections, sides.
I've been in it. And what is hilarious to me is if Spirit thinks any of their passengers are vaccinated, or if Carnival Cruise Line thinks they'll have a rude awakening.
Dude, you can go to Carnival Cruise Lines with your dick out. Like, you don't have to do anything on a Carnival Cruise Line.
So this is the vaccinated trip, and then one guy will show up, and it'll be the person who's supposed to check for the vaccination.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, It's their eyes will be wide open and say, "Oh, were those people.
God, like I thought cruise ships were already filled with old people enough. Like it's literally gonna be a bunch of old people and losers on the fucking cruise ship going to like trying to start a party, and then they're just like, imagine
that's called a cruise ship though. Hot, hot, hot. I'm feeling hot. You hear that 5 times before the boat leaves.
Right. Yeah.
It feels good, and then when the time you're coming back. Mm-hmm. Like after your little 7-day hiatus, 5-day hiatus,
you're supposed to be sick on the way back.
Someone turn off this effing song.
Yeah.
And then hot.
I
love it though.
Yeah, I wonder. Never mind. I thought that song, like, who's getting paid for that song? Because Jesus, they've been playing that song for a long time. But anyway, so these companies are just gonna start requiring it, and I'm telling you, man, it's not gonna look good because like forget the U.S. is not gonna require it to go like state to state, like you said. But like, say Canada requires it to get into Canada. Say Mexico, I mean, they probably won't. Say Mexico requires it. Say, like I said, plane companies require it. Then I literally cannot travel regardless of what. Like, what am I supposed to take? Spirit Airlines? Fuck, I look like.
If Trump was president, Trudeau would have already come out and said, this is a vaccinated country.
Yeah.
And you dirty minions over there in America aren't touching this.
You dirty Southerners.
Yeah.
That's what
but I think because we have Biden now.
Yeah.
One, he doesn't speak much. He doesn't really come out in the public, so we don't really know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice that other countries just don't. They're probably going behind our back right now and getting ready to burn us, but they don't like to publicly state it.
Yeah, you know, China's already in Russia, and all those guys are cooking up a plan. I always feel like Britain has like still been cooking up a plan to get us back a little bit, like slowly by slowly. But anyway, so you have these situations, man, and I just don't like it. In just putting this country in a situation where we all have to get vaccinated, like they force us to get vaccinated. Just I don't see. I'm trying to figure out where the benefit. I guess there's a benefit. Don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to see where. I don't know. What am I saying? Like the good in it. Like what's the full outcome? Like what's the full point? If it makes sense. Like herd immunity, but like is it gonna help the spread of COVID? Like
yeah, I mean I'm not one of those people where I think this is a blue chip that's getting put into or a microchip. Sorry, that's getting put into us.
Yeah. They're spilling doses on the side of the road. They think they have the sophistication put microchips in their vaccines. I don't think so. They can't even refrigerate the shit at the same temperature.
Yeah. So I don't think they're trying to make us dumber or slower or any of these types of things. I just think that the government's getting really used to telling us to do everything.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, they like to just say turn right or turn left. And it's just a power trip.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hysteria now, let's freak out. Vaccine's the only way out of the hysteria that which we created in you.
Right.
It's not to say that this coronavirus wasn't serious, but it wasn't as serious as the media wants us to be screaming about it all.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's, one of our followers here says Biden is so spineless, China will walk all over us. Possibly.
Probably.
I do find that we still just don't really like to discuss what's going on in China. We're a population that's so built on talking about inequities and talking about different like suppression and things that are going on, and we still really don't address what's going on in China much.
China's gonna take Taiwan, and we're gonna be like, China knows they can take Taiwan because we're too busy dealing with racial issues. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I don't know if you noticed, like,
we'll get deep in that conversation at some point.
Because China's trying to take the South China Sea, and if they take Taiwan, they take the Philippines, and then maybe they'll be like, you know what, Myanmar, you aren't doing it right, I guess we're gonna govern you. Whole nother story for a whole nother day. But like, sometimes, when you have the superpower country in a certain area of the continent, they were like, we want to rule it all. Kind of like Japan did, but that's a whole nother story for I keep saying whole nother story for a different day, but like we will get to that, trust me. But anyway, people always say like, there's been vaccine passports for other countries like Tanzania and all these countries in Southern America for like certain crazy diseases like yellow fever and measles and smallpox and stuff like that. But like it's so funny. My point is actually like contradictory. But like, but of course we're vaccinated for yellow fever and smallpox and all this shit. Like, but then again, I'm just saying like if you go to Tanzania and you come back, you're gonna have to quarantine because people need to check you for all diseases that's been there or been like circulating in those other small poor countries. And
this isn't like a one-hit quitter. They're telling us this vaccine is going to only last for 6 months.
6 months, and that's the Pfizer 2-shot one. Forget the AstraZeneca. Forget the Johnson & Johnson, a family company. Those, it's only gonna 6 months later. We're gonna constantly have the vaccine again. And by the way, there's probably gonna be a 2.0 version that I've been screaming about this whole time that might last for the rest of the.
But AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson, they actually dropped a remix.
Yeah, they figured it out.
They did a collab. Nobody knew.
Yeah,
15 million doses. It doesn't sound like they're throwing out those doses. Aren't they maybe like trying to pawn them off?
No, I think they're just trying to make. They're like, hey man, like we need to send these doses to somebody. Like we got to get this figured out. And they're like, we don't want to throw them away, so we gotta poke them. We gotta poke somebody, and let's poke all the poorer countries with the AstraZeneca vaccine, and just let it.
I thought AstraZeneca vaccine wasn't even allowed yet.
No.
And so how is it like even in a production space with Johnson & Johnson that it could possibly even get hit like that?
They had a meeting in somewhere in the European whatever. So today they're trying to figure out if they should just let AstraZeneca vaccine roll because the benefits outweigh the side effects. Basically, that's what they're trying to argue. And I'm like, yeah, but there's still side effects and it's still new. And but anyway, but Brazil had like 4,000 deaths today, and they kind of need that vaccine to some level.
So they're doing a collab. Do that collab. I just send those 15 doses over. Don't send them to us.
Yeah, don't send it over here. Yeah, I mean, it's always tough. It's funny. It's always tough when you deal with like a lot of these issues with like poor and rich. It almost like outweighs the racial issues. Almost like this Tiger Woods incident that happened recently. So we talked about the Tiger Woods incident.
We did, yeah.
And my guy Tiger Woods. He wait, hold on a second. Before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to the people that are shouting what's up to us. Shout out Mizzy Pock. Shout out Ellison Taylor. What's Gucci? Shout out Kung Fu 124. Shout out all y'all. How y'all doing? We are Smart and Mild. Talking hot topics today.
Ooh.
We're having a good time. We're talking hot.
Episode 14. We're still out here living, bro.
And we're trying to do the right. We're trying to do like some crazy shit this week. If you didn't know, we went go-karting a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Where that video is coming soon.
Yep.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start racing MFers all around LA to see who's the fastest one. Shout out WTF1, you too. So yeah, we're trying to figure that out. So I just want to let you guys know in the future. At the end of the episode, we'll continue talking about that.
And you can go to Smart Mouth right now, hit some merch up.
Yeah. Check out our merch.
When that video drops, you're already ready with the merch. You could be merch with you. You can be sitting there and be like, I got my cam study.
Yeah, buy the go-kart cam shirt, buy the hot sauce shirt, buy our hats, our smart hats. Because if he's wearing a smart hat, you're the smart one today.
Well, you got to look good to be good is what my 4th grade football coach told me.
Yes, sir.
So, you wear the smart cap, it immediately validates you.
Exactly.
It's like a check mark from Twitter.
Right.
But it's from even a more valid source, which is Smart Mouth.
Which is Smart Mouth, man. I am curious now that you said that. How well did you do in your 4th grade high school football team? Or 4th grade football team?
4th grade football team, I felt pretty good. Yeah. Okay. I've been 5'7"1/4" since 8th grade. So it was like,
swag.
Dude, I was a big boy getting up there. I was only able to be tight end. And so because I was just a big dude.
Yeah.
So I was hossing it. I thought I was going to be like Randy Moss or something like that.
Yeah. I've always wanted, like, in my brain world, I've always wanted to play football and be like a really good football player, like maybe like a running back.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also like 300-pound dudes going to fucking murder you like right before you cross the line. So I didn't want to do that. But like the idea sounds fun. Like I always wanted to play football. I don't know. I'm pretty fast. I try to be.
Yeah. That's what I kind of like about that sport is you can just take so many different like body sizes, so many different playing styles, so many different talent levels.
Yeah.
And with 11 spots, there's just so many ways to make it work.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see that chess match. It's my favorite sport.
Yeah, no, it's really good. But I'm trying to figure out like because there's such a disparity. Like we're talking about these vaccines between like rich and poor, like who gets what, right?
Okay.
And I gotta say, like how like we're back like because we're like the early 90s. It reminds me of what's going on with Tiger Woods right now. My guy Tiger Woods I mean, just booked it off this hill down here, right here in Palos Verdes. I mean, just like a motherfucker.
Well, I was surprised how fast he was going.
87 in a 45-mile-an-hour zone
if
in the morning.
If you've been up there at all, it's some of the reason I could never drive that fast there is it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You want to take your time. It kind of meanders down.
Yeah.
It's either residential, so you feel like you're going to run into a kid while you're trying to look at the view going all the way to Malibu.
Right.
Or it's cliffside.
Yeah.
Which, that's one he found.
Residential, cliffside, or church in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all hidden and stuff, and they get $1 million, but that's all different stuff. Anyway, and
87 and a 45.
87 and a 45. And
that's booking it.
Like, homie went like over, like he was on the right lane, went over the center divider, went over the other lane, and then went over the cliff. Rolled his Bentley, he rolled his rental Bentley off the cliff.
No. Genesis,
excuse me. That's
Genesis.
Right. That's what I'm saying. A Genesis looks like a Bentley. Genesis is doing a great job, by the way. Shout out Hyundai.
I do kind of think it was an experiential marketing play.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yo, Tiger's out here rolling Bentleys. Or
Genesis, yeah.
But that everyone had that thought. Everyone went, oh, he was in a Bentley, obviously.
Yeah.
Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis.
And so they won that marketing game.
Yeah, and he survived. He rolled off a hill and survived with Tiger Woods inside. And
so, but
we all know he was drunk. And that's what the point that we're trying to get to. We all know Tiger Woods was like literally incapacitated, and the cops like didn't tell anyone. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna keep this private.
They're squashing it.
They're squashing it. They literally like put a statement out saying that we're not gonna say anything about it." How many times have you heard that ever?
It's Tiger though.
It's Tiger Woods though, right? So you see a car roll down the hill, see a Genesis. You almost look like a Bentley. You get out the car, you open the door and see the car. It's fucking Tiger Woods. You don't care what his breath smells like. You're not gonna be busy doing a toxicology report. You're not gonna be busy worrying about what pills he took at 8 a.m. in the morning. You're like, yo, it's Tiger Woods. We got you, homie.
You know what?
We got you.
Didn't we do this with Kevin Hart a little while ago? Where Kevin Hart crashes his car, almost breaks his back, right?
Yeah.
It kind of got Eerie Kobe vibes.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh shit, Kevin Hart just died.
Yeah.
Up in like on Mulholland. There's some voice calls where his wife sounds inebriated. Might have been drunk. And there's some hope.
So
you got some dollars.
There is some hope. Listen, my fellow African Americans, there is hope if you move to California and you are wealthy. There is hope in America, not necessarily America, Southern California. If you are wealthy and African American, move here, because I'm telling you, some of the cops actually got your back over here. Not if you're poor, by the way. If you are wealthy and you can pay them off.
And famous,
you have hope to get off of a lot of shit. O.J. Simpson, Kevin Hart, Kanye West probably done a bunch of shit. And then he probably, I don't know if he slapped Kim Kardashian, who knows. And then you got Tiger Woods. He getting off. They kept whatever he did private.
Well, okay? Don't forget 1995, 1996. OJ.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, you can cut a bitch up over in Brentwood.
You can cut a bitch up and get off. And matter of fact, and have everyone support you.
American Dream is real.
Dude, American Dream is real in Southern California, but not before you get below Irvine.
Yo, I was late to this game. I just watched, because of you, the OJ versus the People.
Yeah. Great show.
Unbelievable documentary.
Great show.
Very interesting to watch during the Derek Chauvin trial.
Yeah.
I think it's almost important to watch that now to just get a little bit of grasp on, don't jump to conclusions of where this thing could possibly go.
It can be weird.
It gets dicey.
Yeah.
But definitely feel bad for OJ's ex in that situation.
Yeah.
And I think her dancer boyfriend or whoever that guy was got diced up. Might not have been OJ. Obviously wasn't, because the LAPD told you it wasn't. Well, the LAPD were telling us they did.
Yeah.
LAPD.
No. They said like a suspect. They're like, we don't really know. But we all fucking know.
Suspect.
The suspect. But he's the juice. He's the juice. So like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna call the juice guilty immediately? No.
Yeah. Have you been watching Derek Chauvin?
Yeah. So this trial is actually getting really weird. Because this trial is not on Derek Chauvin, it's on George Floyd.
And it really is.
It really is.
And I don't know if the pace of the trial will change.
Yeah.
Where maybe it gets like headlights are on George Floyd right now.
Yeah.
And then they will go over to Derek Chauvin.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting to me, and it's suspect to me that we're not watching video of what Derek Chauvin was doing and saying before he met George Floyd.
It's funny, huh?
You know what I mean? So it's like it's all about what George Floyd was doing.
Yeah.
And that it is one of those things where I'm never gonna change my opinion on this. That George Floyd should have not died that day.
Yeah.
Like at all.
No.
We can't have a system that supports that and covers up that situation and then doesn't have justice for a person that fell victim to some bullshit cop.
Right.
It's similarly to what happened in the OJ trial. Everybody gets flushed out.
Yeah.
Everybody just gets shit on. We learn way too much about every single individual in the trial.
Yeah.
And I'm just interested to see if it gets so dicey that we're going to learn about like the prosecutors, the defendants, all of these different people.
Yeah.
I'm kind of still rocky on Minneapolis wants Chauvin, Officer Chauvin, to go down with murder. When he definitely didn't care if George Floyd died.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Did he intentionally murder him? That's where I am willing to say I'm not really sure because I just wasn't able to get in that guy's head. Yeah. But then again, to me, that doesn't matter. Right? Because like, dude, George Floyd still died and he was willing to let him die.
Right.
Didn't check his pulse. Yeah. Just kept it rocking.
Just kept knee on that
just like
neck. Yeah.
Very like stoically just stayed there.
Yeah.
But man, dude, these public trials are brutal to watch.
Yeah, no. If you draw the parallels between the O.J. Simpson trial, it kind of is similar because you have the whole city, essentially watch what happened, and this whole trial is live and everyone has their comment on it, and there's a whole racial thing to it, and yeah, you're right. Like even when I was too young to watch the real O.J. Simpson trial, but like on the show they depicted it very well. So says my dad, who was actually there. And
I watched the trial on TV during class in second grade.
Oh, during class! Wow.
No joke.
Wow.
So when, I remember watching The Glove.
Yeah.
During class.
Must have quit.
And then also the verdict.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's interesting is like you're right. Like the trial was about like who was the lady, who was the guy, what were they up to, why were they in the same room, what were like were they sexual, did they have an argument before, like minus the fact that OJ came in and be like gang gang gang. Derek Chauvin like straight up put his knee on the man's neck for 10 minutes. We're talking about what George Floyd was eating for lunch earlier. Like, what did he do? Don't get me wrong. I understand it's very muddy and maybe he took drugs or whatever the case may be.
That's what sucks. He was eating fentanyl.
Yeah, but but what was Derek Chauvin doing 10 minutes before? Was he frustrated? What was he doing? Did Derek Chauvin take drugs? They didn't do a toxicology in it. I don't know.
Well, I want to hear him on his mic while he's driving up.
Yeah, I'm get this motherfucker. Watch this. I didn't hear that. We haven't heard that yet. So,
but that's why we're gonna learn a lot more, though.
We're gonna learn a lot more.
And Derek Chauvin already did have a checkered past, right?
Yeah, totally did. With George Floyd, by the way.
That's right.
Literally with George Floyd.
That's what I actually forgot about.
Because he knew him.
So they knew each other. Okay, so that is where it gets different.
Yeah.
So that's right. He knew him.
Even if I know the homeless guy down the street and I put my knee on his neck, regardless of even he swung at me and I unfortunately say God forbid.
Yeah, that's different.
I'm like I kind of knew who he was ahead of time.
And so if you knew him, I feel like that made him press harder.
Right. Because you're like
care less.
Because it's almost like a F you, like.
Gotcha. Yeah, using his badge.
Right. Because you don't do that. It's hard for you to do that to someone you absolutely do not know. It's actually pretty difficult.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
it's actually, you would hope not.
Yeah, because it's easier to do that to someone who'd be like, F you. Yeah, so we're gonna learn a lot more about that, and
Minneapolis is not gonna get the verdict they want. I don't think. Not like they need. It's gonna be brutal, bro.
One thing we talked about though, because like
and not just Minneapolis, the whole world, I guess, right?
Yeah, like, because the reality is, like, we saw what happened in LA when those cops, when Rodney King happened and those cops got off. I'm sorry, man, but protect your city. Pour water on your buildings immediately, because you might want them on fire. So no. My point is, like, I hope the justice gets served. I hope everything goes, the way justice is really meant to be, and we'll see how it goes. We'll learn more and see how it goes.
And that's where our system is still messed up.
Yeah,
that they can't get George Floyd in handcuffs.
Yeah,
without dying. Mm-hmm. And be able to go, George Floyd just had a bad day.
Yeah.
He was having a bad day.
Yeah, it was multiple things.
You shouldn't die by the hands of the cops for having a bad day.
No.
And we do see that with guys that are shooting up Walmart, where the cops are walking people out in handcuffs.
Yeah.
And the cops like, yo, the guy had a bad day.
Yeah.
Right? Because when it comes down to it, even in like mass shooter things, mm-hmm. I go, everyone always tries to put in these like big agendas.
Yeah.
The guy was dealing with some probably like schizophrenic shit.
Yeah.
And it looks like with the George Floyd deal, it looked like he was dealing with some mental things that maybe were either drug induced or whatever. Mm-hmm. That doesn't matter as much as like the cops are supposed to protect and serve you, and they can't kill you.
Yeah. We got a comment saying y'all are super fun to listen to. You should have people call in. Yeah, I mean we do go live every Wednesday, and we do respond to comments, and so we'll feel free to answer anything you have any questions to. Hell yeah.
Scotty Mike.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, man, and it's just tough, and like I said, we'll learn more as time goes on about this, but like, damn, man, like, frick, I just we'll see, and it's tough to talk about, but yeah,
we're gonna kind of have to hold ultimate opinion
because we'll see, because I don't want to get shot myself at the end of the day, so we'll fucking see. So I rubbing it the right way. There's a number of things that are going down right now. I still, like, we talked about a little bit about me running for governor a little bit. I still want to. I think this fucking state is crazy in California. LA's crazy.
And you might be ready.
I think I'm ready right now. I'm thinking about 2040 something, but like, damn, homie. Like, if Caitlyn Jenner is getting ready to run for governor, I think it's time for me to fucking do it, because I swear, like,
this feels kind of like Jesse Ventura when he won in Minnesota.
I don't even know who that is.
Jesse Ventura was a WWF wrestler, or WCW. And he won governorship in Minnesota.
Oh shit!
It was awesome because he won. He was strapped.
Yeah.
So he was strapped as governor.
Okay.
One of the only, I think, governors that was rocking a gun.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And then he didn't want to move into the governor's mansion because it wasn't big enough. And he thought it was going to flex on his kid's lifestyle.
What a pimp.
Which that might happen with Caitlyn.
It's kind of pimp. You should be like, yo, like, I don't like the color of this. I think we should have more. We should have more like ladies working in the front of the office, and like we need more, but not transgenders though. Not Caitlyn Jenner. It's funny how Caitlyn Jenner doesn't like transgenders.
She's Republican,
right? Yeah, Republican.
She
confusing as hell.
She didn't like Trump, but had always been Republican.
Yeah, weird, huh?
But she didn't like Trump, maybe because he was a Democrat.
Caitlyn Jenner is literally so confusing. I can't even put my finger on her or whatever. But like, anyway, she's trying to run for governor, so like, I think it's time, my guy. I think I should put the suit on and let's go, because like, Newsom's out, he's done. So like, who's next? Because running for governor is just a popularity contest, and I'm just gonna go around county to county, be like, "What's up, motherfuckers? How y'all doing?"
Well, okay.
You know what I'm saying,
Caitlyn Jenner. If you've ever watched Keeping Up with Kardashians, I like the show. Haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's done now. Just finished.
It's done because they're all billionaires now, and then they're done. They don't need that stupid crap.
But so when Caitlyn was Bruce on the show.
Oh yeah, speaking of.
Bruce would just kind of like wander around the house aimlessly,
right?
While like everyone else was like chugging along,
right?
Granted, you always looked at him as, oh, well, he's just kind of an athlete that did his thing, and he's chilling now, right? And so even now it's Caitlyn, and Caitlyn's just the only thing I really know about Caitlyn is she's kind of still hitting people with the
bang bang, yeah.
Bang, bang. If it was Kris Jenner, different conversation.
Oh, big time.
Kris Jenner, that's a governor. Well, she'll be sitting there being like, every single kid I made, other than Fat Rob, is a billionaire.
It's a billionaire. I mean, she has done more for the California tax code than almost so many other people, than Newsom and all those motherfuckers. So I mean, dang, like Kris Jenner has done so much for California.
Kris Jenner. An OG. That would be, she would win so fast in California.
Kris Jenner has done more for California than her husband, her former husband. What's her name?
Bruce.
No, the other husband.
Caitlyn.
No, that was Robert Kardashian. Robert Kardashian. Kris Jenner has done more for the state of California than all the Kardashians, or no, all the governors and everyone combined.
But Robbie got OJ off, bro.
But I mean, that does add to my first point. Yeah, he did get OJ off, but he helped. I mean, Johnny Cocker did.
The show didn't make him look good.
No.
Well, it made him look like a nice human being.
Yeah, but it didn't make him look good. But I mean, just saying, like they did actually a really good job. Kim Kardashian's a billionaire now, and like holy shit, there's gonna be. I want the curly-headed overlord.
Oh, we got the curly-headed overlord
joining on this conversation.
Come on in. Get in studio. Whenever we're able to get her in studio, we know that there's hot takes.
Yeah.
This keeps us in check.
Yeah.
We understand that our opinion is not always appropriate.
Please.
She gives us really like a scholarly understanding of, worldview.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out, like, Kim Kardashian is now a billionaire, right? Do you look up to Kim Kardashian as all the Kardashians as aspirations, inspirations to be like them? Like, do you want the makeup, prosthetics, and the businesses and everything that comes with it? And all you got to do is fuck Ray J.
I think she did a little more than that. She did a little more than just that,
Yeah.
I mean, definitely as far as like the branding and like how to just profit off yourself and your identity, but also like appropriating other identities, that's a different story.
Kris
she definitely represents that, of like what it means to like just push through and really set your goal on fame and how you make that happen. That's what she represents. I mean, I do appreciate, because I mean, she does but she does like donate at a center that I work at, so like I get that she's also kind of contributing in that way. At least I've seen that contribution firsthand. But I don't know if it's like, I mean, she's just doing her, I don't know if necessarily that's what I would want to do. That's just not me. But there's probably lots of other people that, aspire to be like her, like just an entrepreneur, a boss lady, like just constantly thinking of like, what's the next brand? It has branded herself so well that she's able to do the slightest thing and make money like that. You know what I mean? That is, inspirational to a degree. But for me, it's like, I mean, that's just how she wants to do it. We all have our own way of looking at what success looks like. But I mean, for so many people, that's what success looks like.
Yeah, I just feel like, after the Kardashians, after Kim really made it, like initially, there's all these reality TV shows, all these in different countries, by the way, not just America, starting off like doing the makeup, being crazy on the reality TV shows, building a brand and company out of there, and then they're literally following Kim Kardashian's her whatever blueprint, and they're trying to be like her. Essentially, there's so many women.
She's shown people like just how to make money.
I've never heard one story about the Kardashians screwing people over, though. I mean,
except for the vehicular manslaughter. I mean, the pregnant lady definitely.
What pregnant?
Boom.
Caitlyn.
I mean, not that we know of.
No, well, Caitlyn killed someone on like the 405 or on the 1, right?
It was one of those freeways.
Really?
Yeah, she was driving an SUV with a 4-wheeler on the back.
Yeah.
And slammed into somebody
bang.
Killed him.
Yeah. It was accident?
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
texting and driving.
Oh,
Yeah.
texting and driving.
But I think somehow she got out of it in a rich way.
Well, because
Rich
rich
way.
people get away with that stuff.
Yeah.
Look at OJ.
In Southern
Look at all these other. What's his name? The
Tiger Woods.
pedophile rapist guy. Stevie,
Michael Jackson.
Harvey.
Ray J. No.
executive
Weinstein?
producer.
R.
Weinstein?
Kelly.
No.
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
Yeah.
That motherfucker.
Oh man, it's been a long year of rapists.
All these
Oh,
rich
we're-
people.
We're spitting.
Money
And Ray J,
just
I'm sorry.
Seems to fix all
No
their
rape
problems.
there. It was consensual.
Ray J he's trying to start an earphone business.
I know.
Why
I
are
was
you
trying to think. I was thinking R. Kelly, and I said Ray J.
you're trying to
My
ta-
bad.
You're trying to take down his headphone company, and I swear,
Oh.
So we got comments coming in. We got did Caitlyn commit vehicular manslaughter? Yes,
that's
absolutely. Yes, this is the Smart and Mild podcast. To people, Olivia T. We got Marcy Shears talking about how did you guys feel about being about Caitlyn Jenner being labeled as Woman of the Year and when she first transitioned. That's right. She got labeled as Women
Because there's
of
so
the
many
Year.
other just amazing transgender women that are doing great things,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Bambi, which I was spoke to earlier this week. But there's so many more amazing people doing the work, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
they pick Caitlyn. It's like, come on, what about all the people before her that set up her stage, right? That have faced way more obstacles and challenges in that transition,
Yeah.
and who actually use their voice to actually help other transgender people.
But you can't weigh each other's obstacles or challenges.
No, I get that. I just
That's
women
where it
of
gets
the
kind of
year,
dicey.
that's cool. I mean, whatever.
Woman
I'm
of
still,
the year, you
snap.
you can't really be woman of the year when you started the year as a dude,
No.
You gotta
right?
I don't know.
And that's not I hope that's not hate speech. I
I just
hope
don't
people
think-
aren't bothered by
There's
that.
just so
Yeah.
But,
many
just
amazing
jumping on Woman of the
transgender
Year
people
that
that are
quick?
Yeah.
really doing the
No,
work.
it wasn't even. No, it wasn't a transgender award. It was a female.
It was a
I
female
know,
award.
but
You-
there's so many other women.
There's literally y'all have
Hit Sheryl Sandberg up. Has she not won it yet?
No, because she's Facebook. But Jennifer Dowda invented CRISPR. She just changed the idea of being a human being. She
And the Thanos girl?
no, not the Thanos girl. Jennifer Dowda and basically helped create the gene editing CRISPR that helps create designer babies and help take out diseases by editing your genes. Jennifer Dowda. Anybody? No one knows who that is.
No.
Shout out for Jennifer.
Yeah, we'll research her more. We'll get a better understanding.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll come back to that.
It is crazy that Bruce transitions into Caitlyn, and is the most well-known female
Of
in
the
the
year.
country.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's
Boom.
Well,
crazy.
that's just
That's the
But
patriarch.
that
That's
is
crazy.
the Kardashian lure, right? The Kardashians are just watched. They've been watched. People know their whole life story. So it's they already had that established platform, so that it did become something that was more mainstream, right? Of transitioning like that. So,
But
it brought it to that level too.
Well, it was his transition. Her transition was exceptional because he was looked at as one of the greatest male athletes in American history.
Right.
And so to experience one of the great and American Olympic, right, and in his time era,
right.
But as a decathlete, winning when he won it, it was exceptional. And so to have someone that was thought of in the public eye as such a masculine figure of athletic prowess, then transitioning to a female, that was kind of that shock and awe.
It's totally disrespectful to all women everywhere.
No, I mean I get that that jump is something to know, especially when who you are as a man is just so everyone knew who you were and what you were known for as well, right? And to transition to the opposite sex, it's just it's a jump.
I mean, he just saw all of his daughters winning, crushing it, and he was like, "Yo, hold my beer."
Yeah,
better yet, hold my dick. Yeah, not gonna be needing this dog.
Wow.
Yeah, cut that shit
but
off.
no, now it's hold my purse.
Yeah.
And we're I mean, listen, Caitlyn Jenner's going for the run for governor of California, and that's why that's why I'm running.
That's a hard no for me, but
I will run again. I will run with Caitlyn Jenner just for the fuck of it. I will start collecting donations tomorrow.
But what has she done to to show that she's
That's what I'm saying.
Servant to the community, like to people, you know, like that's what that type of position is for, right? Someone who wants to serve people. But I don't really know if that's what Caitlyn
hits people with her car. Kris Jenner has done more for the California economy than most people.
Yo, that would be dope.
That's what I'm saying.
No, if they went head to head.
Kris versus Kris.
Oh, but Kris
versus Caitlyn?
Dunk on her.
Oh my God. Kris versus Caitlyn for California governor? Oh my God. Oh my, what a, you think OJ Simpson trial was bad? And holy fuck.
And the reality TV show goes live, everyone.
Well, you would, to have a family feud in one of the greatest American families of all time.
Of all time.
Well, we talked about, there are royalty.
Yeah, there are royalty. They made them billionaires. There's Kanye West is a billionaire. He wasn't a billionaire before the Kardashians.
The Kardashians.
Kim Kardashian's a billionaire. What's their other sister? Not Khloe.
Kendall.
Kylie's a billionaire. Kendall's probably gonna be a billionaire.
She's only like what, 21?
Khloe, I don't know what happened there. She's trying to do pharmaceutical commercials. We don't know what happened, but they're all trying to be billionaires.
I feel like what we've learned as a generation is like entrepreneurship, like start branding yourself, starting your own business, like make it happen, you know? That's my takeaway.
Yeah, and
that's my takeaway.
You know what? I'm done ripping on the Kardashians too much.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'm not done. I'm not.
I ain't gonna lie, they donate
the world.
To
yeah, well, and then I think we just get too much into like wanting to always hate on people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird of some of the most influential females in the country, if not the world. We just love tearing them down.
That is a reality too. Again, I've brought this up on this podcast multiple times. Don't get me started, y'all. Okay, if you look at the language, the media, when describing, for example, a famous couple, you know, divorcing, if like the Kevin Hart thing, right? If like the man cheats, they will still bash the woman on those platforms. Like it's just like a freaking woman bashing like culture, and it's so disgusting. And I think we're like finally calling it out. I'm calling it out right now here on the Smart and Mild podcast. I'm calling it out. Hot topics, y'all. And we got to really stop that language. And even for women like and ourselves, right? I think we're all our worst own critic. Our brain actually leans towards negativity.
Yeah.
You know, too often.
Yep.
And so I think we gotta change that. We gotta speak positivity to ourselves and to others, and that's the only way like we gonna survive this, y'all.
Hey, hot off the press. Kylie's down to $700 million. Somehow she lost money during the pandemic.
Oh, but
the rich ain't getting richer for some reason.
She sold half her company to like a bigger company. That's why she's 50%. So she probably lost, but she'll gain it back. Trust me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like think about it, she sold 50% control, so she doesn't have to do it anymore. Which, to be frank, is actually a good business sense. Makes a lot of business sense.
We do have a followers, and I hate the people that like the Kardashians.
I mean, hate is a strong word, y'all. Like, come on. Like, people are allowed to have opinions. Like, chill out.
But you know, I kind of want to talk about one point that you did mention a little bit. Like, people were hating on Kevin Hart for cheating on his wife. However, y'all remember that there was two women who literally set Kevin Hart up, recorded him. They recorded them having sex with each other, and then put it out to the press release if Kevin Hart didn't pay him. So I'm just saying there is a lot of people out there, women, that will really. They almost set themselves up to get shit for it.
There is like good and bad people on both ends.
I'm just saying.
A bad person is a bad person.
Horror. And then but think about you were like, I'm gonna tempt Kevin Hart to fuck Kevin Hart, and I'm gonna record him so I can I'm gonna blackmail him to send it to his wife, and if he doesn't pay up, I'm gonna try to ruin his career. That's why Kevin Hart had to go sorry. Couldn't even do the Golden Globes or whatever the fuck, and then. Yeah, had to go sorry some more on Ellen, and everyone barely paid attention, and because he was just like, we love you, Kevin Hart, we don't really care, we know these hoes set you up.
I think that was because of his comments on homosexuality, not
you know what I'm saying? And we're like, man, listen, we get it, we just do you, we're so I'm just saying.
At the end of the day, he's still living his best life,
and they just launched a great little. They did a collab with Fabletics. Him and his wife. Launched a athletic line.
Yeah, they're going against Nike. I think they're okay.
They're gonna be okay.
They're like a cute little power couple now.
Yeah. I strive to have a taller wife like me. You know, I want to be like Kevin Hart so bad and be a governor. It's really.
He wants it all, everyone. He wants it all.
Like I said, if you are in Southern California and you are rich, if you are black and rich, you somehow are able to make it here. not necessarily in America, but in Southern California, before you get to before Irvine, you have a chance. Okay,
before Irvine, y'all.
You have a chance to make it in America and get away from a lot of shit.
Well,
so
yeah, you can make it anywhere in America, but in LA you can fuck up and make it. Too.
You can fuck up and make it too. You can fuck up a bunch of times.
It depends on where we're talking about in LA, because it's not exactly that in every part of LA.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Let's be clear,
no, that's because rich and famous. Rich and famous.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
because then LAPD are like
so many problems are. It's like
yeah,
Tiger.
They didn't release anything about Tigers. They didn't test them, do nothing. They were like, Tiger, like, we got your back, homie. Like, everything is going to be A-okay. Like, and they probably paid them off. Those guys probably have an extra $100,000 in their pockets. But hey, let Tiger live. What is the new
tax write-off, baby.
Tax write-off. PGA is coming soon. Like, listen, all we need to worry about is you golfing and winning.
Is he walking yet?
I don't know. Who knows? But he's on.
Did you almost say I don't care? You're like, I don't know. You'll be fine.
I was trying to say, like, hey, imagine, like, you being all screwed up and then you got to go to jail afterwards. And then you got to, like, more. Like, I bet everyone was like, Tiger, like, you kind of been through enough. Like, Jesus, like, let's just leave this crap alone. Like, whatever you got to
go quiet.
87 and 45.
Enough.
Whatever, 8 in the morning. It is like that. It be like that sometimes. We'll just let you go, you know?
Do you think he did it just for more meds? Just for like more painkillers. He's like, yo, Andy's not working anymore. Need a painkiller.
We need that
fully, baby.
We need that heavier shit, you know.
Imagine.
Yeah.
People probably do that though. That's actually. And he's like, oh, it's just some. What car was it again?
It's a Genesis, not a Bentley.
Yeah.
It's just a Genesis.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay. Clip Spade said something about like yeah, he was saying crazy stuff about beating his son if it was some gay or something.
Kevin Hart, right?
Was literally a joke in his comedy special. I know what you're talking about, and that was literally in his comedy special as a joke. Whatever.
But that's why he got no. But they were just saying that's why he actually got like that's why he was like crying on Ellen.
Oh.
And that's why he wasn't able to do the Emmys or Oscars or any of those other award shows that nobody cares about anymore.
Because he's talking about beating his son?
I kind of liked the award shows. I feel bad that they canceled themselves out.
Yeah.
That was I just kind of thought those were fun. I was kind of a red carpet person.
Yeah, they're cute, you know.
I just like watching it. I don't know, but they're done. It's over.
No,
they're
totally
canceled.
No more awards.
They're canceled.
And who cares about them anyway? They're just like a bunch of nonsense.
No,
cancel culture.
Yeah. It's a cancel culture. Speaking of cancel culture, they're trying to cancel the fuck out of the Houston quarterback, Deshaun Watson, for getting hand jobs, blowjobs, or whatever at the massage parlor. We're trying to figure out. Everyone's in like in limbo, trying to figure out like, is it real? Is the girl telling the truth? Is the girl lying? All this stuff. That's what I'm saying, because there's always like this gray area.
So
can you tell the story? I'm sorry, I was talking too much.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is coming out at the same time. Well, this has been going on for about 2 weeks now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I empathize first.
Yeah.
With the victim.
Yeah.
We don't know who the victim is yet, though.
No,
that's where
doesn't
it's weird.
mean that there's because they don't want. She doesn't want you to know who the victim is. Like what?
Well,
because
she does.
We aren't a victim. Wait, I don't even know what happened, so I can't really speak to it.
Well, no, is it a rape allegation or sexual assault?
Sexual assault.
Sexual assault with a masseuse.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but if you're at a Paul Pierce party, I could
victims,
understand
please.
how it gets confusing for a young man.
Victims.
Right. If you're at a Paul Pierce party, everything is open. But if you're at a Deshaun Watson party, everything is closed. So Deshaun Watson, yeah, he's getting crap by. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
I mean, he's not getting crap. He's getting potentially charged.
Let's start from the very, very beginning. Deshaun Watson was in Houston. Deshaun Watson wanted to leave Houston. Then 22 women came in and would be like, "He touched my butt," and then he invited me over and touched my butt. And basically, Deshaun Watson was inviting a bunch of masseuses or therapists or whatever to come to his house and give him a massage.
Because he heard about Epstein's deal.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's how it works.
Yeah. Like, he's like, no, it's like, never mind. Anyway, we started inviting all these massage masseuses from different areas of the nation. And then they came to Deshaun Watson's house thinking that they were going to massage him. And Deshaun Watson was like, I don't want a massage. I want a tug. And basically, all the massage therapists were like shocked. They were like, "Oh, whoa! Like, how dare?"
Yeah.
And basically, after he said he wanted to leave Houston, all 22 accusers said it at the same time, and they'd be like, "Yo, like, you touched my butt," or whatever they did. It did a bunch of different stories.
I think it was more than touching their butt. It sounded like it was fairly intense, right?
It was a bunch of stories, but actually, it wasn't anything super specific. And then like all these allegations for Deshaun Watson, and basically there's a couple people that did come out and do interviews and stuff like that, and they were crying and stuff like that about how Deshaun Watson ruined the idea of me being a massage therapist, and now,
ruined her career choice.
Yeah, and now that she's like, every time I touch somebody, even though I try to massage someone else, I'm shaking because I'm scared.
Yeah, it's called PTSD.
Yeah, and that's horrible. Don't get me wrong. And I gotta give it to the lady that did come out. The internet's not working. I do gotta give it to the lady that did come out.
Spectrum is horrible.
She didn't really look like she was lying that much. I was like really looking like, is this woman lying? And it kind of didn't look like she was lying. And I like Deshaun Watson.
That's a flawed perspective. When you're going, I know she's lying, but I can't figure out where.
No. I was like,
you're saying that the victim
sounded
like a victim.
No,
I came in thinking, I'm like, is this woman lying? And I left with the perception like, I don't think she is, bro.
Yeah, and I get it, because as a football fan,
yeah,
you just want good ball played next season. Yeah. That's why you're sitting there going, but if we're going to see Houston in the playoffs.
Stop. What?
But you leave today.
Yeah, it's reality.
We leave today with a more important understanding.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson might be a rapist.
He might.
He is.
He might have touched butt.
Believe victim.
Yeah,
that's where I get. I'm just trying to explain through the lens of a football fan.
A football fan. Yeah.
You're sometimes going
a football fan.
But like, it's a 17 games.
I'm a fan of women and victims, so I'm
a
on
fan
their
of women
team.
and victims.
Yeah, and
Houston has been falling victim in the playoffs for far too long.
For far too long.
Who's Paul Pierce?
Paul Pierce is NBA legend.
Celtics.
He runs the Truth program, and
I know
educates youth through basketball.
Yeah.
Got caught on Instagram by himself
with
360 followers,
350 live viewers, 350 live
strippers,
with strippers
shaking it.
Really, Paul Pierce?
Yeah.
Wow.
He wasn't doing anything that bad. He was just like with the strippers. It was in his house.
And we did discuss this early in the program.
Yeah.
He's a friend of the program.
Yep.
But those girls were working.
Yeah, they were working. They were working.
So that my only confusing part is if Deshaun Watson's girls were working half as hard as Paul Pierce. I could see how it's confusing.
I can see how
the poor. It would be confusing because I was looking at Paul Pierce's video and I'm like, this is crazy.
I'm like, were they twerking though? Like,
is this online? Like where?
Oh my god! Yeah. I think. Listen. If they're working hard, it's weird. They're in your house, and you're like, are they for the gram? Are they for, what are they here for? I don't know, like, I'm just saying, like, if I invite there's a lot of masseuses here in California and everywhere, and if I invite a masseuse from specifically a specific girl from Utah, I don't know if I'm literally looking for a masseuse. I'm trying to figure out in my head, actually, when the girl, like, gets on the plane, paid for it by Deshaun Watson, by the way. Paid for all this stuff.
Flew her in.
Oh,
and then she's like on the plane, like, I'm going to Deshaun Watson's house.
Did he find her on Instagram?
On Instagram, literally on Instagram. And then she gets like, like,
but you still can't rape.
No, don't do that.
Plane ticket doesn't allow you to rape.
The allegation,
that's
a law in America.
No, the allegation is more for rape. This is for sexual, like touching, like sexual touching and stuff like that. And like basically like to be coerced into sex. Now, as I said, coerced, but it wasn't rape.
Okay, but it didn't go there.
That's a great question because we don't know. That's the funny part about it. Because if it did, we don't know. If it didn't, we don't know because they're not being specific. But we'll find out in the trial. Excuse me. It won't be a trial because they're suing in civil court for money, not for criminal charges. For money.
Dude, you almost looked like you were going down into Deshaun like you were his masseuse. I was like, oh, what are you trying to? Poor girls, like that's gonna trigger those poor young ladies.
Oh my god, I look like Lil Nas X right there, just grinding. No, but like for money, no criminal charge whatsoever. So that's where everyone gets confused because I'm like, you didn't even charge the guy from criminality.
So, you want the money?
All for money. So you're sitting on the plane. Yeah, I'm going to Deshaun Watson's house. You get in Deshaun Watson's house, and he goes, Deshaun Watson's probably like, sup, girl? Come on in, girl.
Why?
They should.
Have you met him?
Maybe, I don't know. And then he gets in the house and lays on the table, probably strips down naked and like, girl, massage me, right? And then he's moving his hands probably or some shit. And then and then all of a sudden, we don't know when this happened. And all of a sudden, when he wants to leave Houston, they're like, nah, get him. All of them were like, get him. So 22 put allegations out. 7 came out. 2 came out. 2 of them actually spoke out. 2 out of the 22.
So
22.
As you know, numbers matter.
Why are you so like?
I feel
what?
I feel some type of way when because like essentially like you're saying, like, believe all victims, right? Believe all women, but sometimes I don't know if we should. I don't know if we fucking should, you know, because I'm trying to we're everyone listen. At the end of the day, everyone's innocent until proven guilty.
And my boy Cameron here. He's a young man. He's 25 years old.
25, yeah.
He still has some maturing to do.
Yeah.
I don't think the brain finishes developing until like 28. So you're still good. You can't come back in 10
25,
years
but
and
you
text
might.
you on this.
Yeah. Do not come back here. But I'm 35, talking about. I cannot believe he said that because I damn sure did.
But
okay?
this is what matters to me. 1, all victims' words matter.
Yeah.
But no, there's no but. And when it's 22. That's a heavy number.
That is a lot. That is a heavy number.
It's 3,
that's a lot of people lying. For
when it's 3, I still go. Let's gauge the situation.
Yeah.
That's not to say that like not convict and
believe
put to jail.
victims.
I believe all victims. But when it's 22, that's a lot of victims.
Yeah.
I believe it,
dude. Look in the comments. A girl flying from a town. A girl flying in from out of town is kind of crazy if she thinks she's coming to give a massage. If she's going to over 3, 4, 5 states to give a massage.
But get the DMs out. If that is the agreement, that's the agreement.
There is no DMs out. No one's releasing the DMs.
They're not going to put all that out there.
There's so much shady shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I
think she would have a really good case if she just released the DMs and said, hey, I own this massage therapy company or physical therapy company, whatever it was.
And she's probably filed a report with the police department.
But she did it. She did it. She filed for civil for money. Charges. She did not file for criminal charges at all. None of them did. Period. All for money. All of them for money, because they know they're probably gonna get the money.
Yeah, well, he got a big contract.
You know, because that's the point, dude. That's like the common case. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these guys, unfortunately, you're like, first of all, if you're gonna get a lot of money, don't fuck up. Don't be an idiot. But like, you know, and it's a common story of like these women are literally coming for you to get your shit, regardless if you did it or you kind of did it. They're coming for you. I'm sorry, but it's a common story told far too long.
Which one? The rape one, right?
No, women coming for your money.
No, you're the new star, the big contract.
I'm not dying on that sword with you, bro.
Dude, that's a literal common story.
I hear you.
Like you're the new guy, the big hot shot, big contract, and then all of a sudden you get fucked up by usually something involving women.
It's just 22.
No, it's a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Wait, this what I'm always interested in is how did he not find one of these young women? I'm presumably mostly women, because I don't know how he flows.
Yeah,
but wouldn't you find one that you're doing it the best?
Yeah, right.
Like keep on flying her in.
Yeah. You're like, yeah. I mean that is. I mean, ice cream, bro. Like he keeps looking for more ice cream. Like eventually, you got to end on your favorite flavor, you know. But like, yeah.
That's what I do think. Sometimes there's like this sexual deviancy of a guy who can walk into any bar and get any girl because he's in Houston,
right?
Football country,
right?
And you're the football star,
right?
Everybody knows you whenever you walk in anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think there gets to be like this weird heady space where these guys like the weird like search again.
Right.
So they like that kind of conflicting environment where I don't know if she likes me or not.
Right, because essentially
and it gets really dark quick. And then it's like that was sexual abuse, bro. That's wrong.
No, and this is where I will defend all women, because the reality is like you're coming to a new star and everyone's telling you yes. Everyone's like yeah, and you think everything is okay because everyone's telling you yes. And all of a sudden you mess around and then you do something completely wrong, and then you find out that was a no, and then you find out afterwards after a lawsuit comes in place, and that is a common story too. Yeah. These athletes do mess up. I'm not defending. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson is right or wrong, but I'm just saying like this is a common story, and on both sides, either Deshaun Watson was right or the women are right, or no, excuse me, either the women are wrong or right. Then it's just we'll see. But the point is like this is all far too common and normal.
Well, that's what would be really difficult about being a hot female masseuse that goes privately into homes.
Yeah.
Is some of the allure is this, but I think it's more physical therapy than even just masseuses.
Yeah.
In his particular thing.
Yeah.
But some of that allure would probably be, this is a hot female,
right,
touching me intimately.
Yeah, but like,
but that
and that's
doesn't
what sucks.
mean that like
no, I'm not saying that rape can happen. Rape can't happen ever.
People take advantage of that all the time, and oftentimes get away with that. They oftentimes, majority, not all the time, but majority of the time, get away from it with a freaking slap on the wrist.
Right.
No, and that's what's tough about the industry of. So you have this young female that's able to charge higher prices because all guys have these dirty brains that says, I'm willing to charge a higher price because this is an attractive female touching me intimately.
Right.
And so then it's in this super awkward gray area, but no means no.
Right. I'm dude, okay. I'm just gonna say it like this, right? Let's just say I become a massage therapist or masseuse or whatever the case, right? And then like all of a sudden I just get hit up by a bunch of MILFs, right? And like all these MILFs want me to massage them. Eventually, I'm gonna come across a woman that's just like lonely, and she'd be like, "Yo, like Cameron, like just hop on this bed and like let's handle, right?" I will come into this space like knowing I can't come into that space ignorant to the fact that one of these MILFs is gonna be like, "Yo, let's get it on." That's why a lot of masseuses are not like, they're not in relationships. They're single because they're like, yo, like I'm gonna fuck somebody. And one of these clients, I'm the same.
So you looked up the data of masseuses and their marriage like rates? Like, what is that a fact, or is that just like something you pulled out of your ass? They're all single. If you're a masseuse out there, you must be single.
Dude, I'm hearing from the people that got the massages. They're telling me, they're like, yeah, anyway. So
what happens though is, I think there's an experience where there's a young female that goes, that got weird.
Yeah.
That felt uncomfortable. That felt wrong.
Right.
And it was like, there's something to it. You're like, oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be treated professionally. Mm-hmm. I ended up doing a lot of things.
Right.
And then there's a certain level of, okay, that was a horrible experience.
Yeah.
But then you hear that it happened 21 other times.
Yeah.
That goes from what already was like, oh, that felt weird, to, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah.
So he's probably gone.
So I mean, yeah, it's not looking.
But it's not a criminal charge.
Not looking good.
I don't.
Because
But we got to move on.
Yeah, we got to move on because Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It will be here all day, like trying to figure this out.
Let's move on from
for
this
Deshaun
topic
Watson
before I start.
And at the end of the day,
and we don't know anything about it. I actually haven't even read once about it.
No, we don't know anything. And like we
I don't even know. Actually.
we wish everyone well, you know. And new quarterbacks that are coming in from high school, just I mean, I'm not saying get a massage therapist from dudes, but like, just watch yourself, okay?
Watch yourself.
You know, watch yourself. So I mean,
watch yourself.
I mean, my goodness, like, there's I mean, I don't want to go dark, but there has been a lot of shootings recently, and I don't know why people like to get out and start shooting motherfuckers. I think it's because of the pandemic and people are really frustrated. But everyone's
it's a factor, but I think it was happening definitely before the pandemic. But
100%.
It's definitely like heightened things for sure.
Yeah.
With the pandemic,
crazy MFers. And there's people. It's not just white people. It's not just crazy white people now. It's like
it usually is, but it makes sure. Yes.
It's Muslim. It's Muslims. The guy that was that attacked the White House. The one guy that attacked the White House was a brother of Islam. He was like,
yeah. He thought on his social media he thought that Louis Farrakhan was Jesus.
Yeah, his brother. And then like that's the first time I ever seen some shit like that from a black guy.
That's like one person out of like the other 50 like white supremacists that did it. Like
no, do not get me wrong. It's still,
you know?
Dude, mass shootings are a total white person sport. Okay, but the first time I seen a black person, and I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. Like now we're starting a whole new thing, and I hope more black people don't start doing that shit because we do not want that kind of heat. Okay.
Well, that's where we always love the storyline of we either like the white person that was influenced by Trump.
Yeah.
We like the Muslim that was influenced by Louis Farrakhan,
and often more than likely they're all just men.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's 100%.
I never seen a woman be like, "Let's get this motherfucker off." Like, yo, I think there was one woman shooter like not too long ago that shot a couple people, but I think it was like she knew him and it was like some bullshit. But like it was like one out of like millions, like thousands. But like yeah, it's totally a men's sport, you know.
Yep.
Sport. It's not. Don't call it a sport. It's a freaking tragedy.
Those guys are like aim.
Well, it's an illness that happens with men more often than women.
Yeah.
Is this overly aggressive influence state that takes out this like disgusting rage in this horribly tragic setting, right?
Yeah.
It takes out other people with them. It's like how, because men are more likely to commit like suicide in a violent fashion than females. That doesn't mean, and I think men do actually, young men commit suicide at a much higher rate than females do. And so that's where we have this, there's a mental illness thing that's not being addressed in a lot of these things.
Mental illness,
Toxic masculinity is a mental.
It's when it comes to this stuff, it's different than just toxic masculinity.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I really do think that like that's the thing. Like
it's a part of it though, of like what we're creating in our society and the expectations for these young men, right? And the pressures and then not an outlet sometimes, right? Like that's, but the thing is, like, I've seen people with even so many resources and support and love and everything still go and commit these things.
Yeah,
it's called mental illness.
Yeah, it's something.
That's why on every single person we have to start being honest with ourselves. It's mental illness
to some degree.
Not every single person though. Like
to some
we
degree.
can't. We also can't label that. But there.
But then when it's that's the thing.
Mental illness when it also coincides with other things.
Yeah.
No, but I'm trying to. I'm
loneliness.
But
sexism.
But I'm trying to get to the fact that the honest truth is mental illness. For if it's a young black guy in the hood, it's still mental illness.
Yeah.
If it's a person who's following their faith in any way, that they somehow mental illness connected to that space.
Because most people that are mentally sane are not like, let's kill them all.
Yeah, so it just
they don't do
like
that.
There's different levels of societal pressure on every different race and there's different ways that we think it's
it just gets treated differently though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Between all these different groups, like it does get treated differently.
Yeah, but there's also a sense though that when, for example, a Capitol policeman just got murdered, right? If so it doesn't fit the narrative though.
Yeah.
That people wanted. If it was a white person that killed the Capitol police member that voted for Trump, every single one of my Instagram stories would have been like, oh my gosh, again.
And
but
that's the first time that it's happened, because it's always been the reverse. It's always been only talking about it when people of color do it and calling them terrorists or this or that.
Yeah.
But that's why.
And creating this image of them. So like throughout history, that's what it's been. And now that white people have gotten a taste of what that's like for the past few months, like it's a problem.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I understand that has happened for all other races.
Yeah.
But we can't build the solution through doing what we know was wrong. So
I get that.
So when we always label every single Muslim that like kills these people and goes, oh well, that was a terrorist act.
Yeah.
Even if they're yelling the typical terrorist bullshit when they're doing it, it's still mental illness. So then when people are like, yo, stop doing that to my culture, I get it that when now they're like saying, yo, white people, it's been your due time to feel like the terrorist.
Right. No, I'm not saying, I'm just saying like,
but I'm also saying, let's start.
But now we're having the conversations though. See, now it's happening to us, and now we're finally having the conversations.
Right.
But
in my head though, I am to the point where I go, when I see someone, even if they're like, if I see like a young black guy who's doing it, I go, dude, I'm not gonna always say, he was just influenced by like African American hip hop culture. That's why he's killing. I go, dude, that was mental illness connected to something that influences.
Yeah,
and we all got to get to that space, or else it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
Just by blaming every white terrorist like as a Trump voter and being like, that was that's white supremacy. White supremacy is a fucking illness.
Right.
And most people that kill for it, that means that you're mentally ill.
Yeah. I would say, I was listening to this podcast by Shankar Vedanta in Hidden Brain, and he was talking about delusions and how people believe in so many delusions that are positive and negative. And basically, he's giving an example of how a lot of these guys, pretty much a lot of these shooters, have this delusion that like this is actually going to help them get into some whatever. Like if I get these people, my gang is going to celebrate me. If I get these people, my God is going to take me in. If I get these people, I'm going to have 20 virgins when I get to heaven. Or if I or delusion of I am a Christian, therefore I am Republican even. So or like Lil Nas X, I'm going to shit on all these Christians and watch them look stupid.
And that's where it is different. I do feel like so the white mass murderers are going. They're actually submitting. Usually, they're like, I'm probably going to hell for this. Mm-hmm. I am inflicting pain.
Right.
And then you find with the Muslim guys, they're going, I'm doing this on behalf of my religion to inflict pain on something that I think is negative towards the expectation of life on earth.
Right.
And they're looking at America as the devil, and they're saying, I'm hitting America on this.
Right.
And then the young African-American guy is saying, I'm doing this for my tribe.
Whatever. Yeah.
Right? Like my crew, for my family, for my space.
Right.
And, dude, we all know that, like, that it's just, it's illness.
Yeah, and we all get, and a lot of us, it's illness to different degrees, but a lot of us get caught up in basically delusions, then transition to mental illness. And some people can be.
Well, I think it's like it's mental illness, and then also environment, right? Yeah. Environment and what you're listening to, what you're seeing in your daily life, the messages that you're being told. So it's mental illness that's being influenced by society, right? That's mimicking and mirroring the things around them. So you have to also realize it's like we can like get the people the right resources for mental illness, but there's also societal factors that we have to talk about that are real.
Yeah, some of these guys
are affecting creating these outcomes.
Yeah, some of these guys are lonely. They ain't got no hoes. They ain't got no mom. They ain't got no dad. They ain't got no friends. And then all they have is the internet that are telling them like this is what you got to do to get to God. So like, oh snap, like I do this and I get to a group, a society or something, or whatever the reason is. Yeah. So these guys, and get caught up in all these delusions, and they believe it so hard because they're so stuck up in it because of their environment, and they commit acts of whatever to in their minds it's for the positive, for the good of whatever their course of action they take. So it's like
I would disagree with the white guys. The white guys are like, I am tearing and burning this shit down.
Right, but because of why? Because of why? Because I felt pain. I felt pain, and I'm gonna give pain to you.
I think it's some element of how the white thing works in the United States is there's this level of expectation of it's gonna work out for you, and so like white males are in let's call it indoctrinated with the world's gonna work out for you, right?
Yeah.
But then it doesn't actually work out for everybody because work ethic matters, being empathetic matters, being able to communicate with people effectively matters, and not being an asshole matters.
Totally.
Yeah.
So then you see these assholes that go, but it didn't work out for me and it should have. And they're like, so I'm going to inflict pain on the other.
So let's talk about this, and let's talk about this. You're talking about this expectation that they have. Where does that expectation come from? What are they hearing growing up that's giving them that expectation? What are they seeing around in their communities that's giving them that expectation that they deserve all of that?
Well,
what is that?
Well, I mean, you should probably answer that.
Well, so you could call it a lot of things, right? So you could call it white privilege. You could call
Which stems from what? What is white privilege?
So you would like me to say white supremacy in this?
No, I'm not. No, white privilege is different. White supremacy is different.
So I would say that white privilege stems from being the majority in a space, having the groupthink going towards that. This individual it can work out for this individual in this space by all the laws, rules, and regulations working into that person's favor.
Yeah.
And then, from different periods of time, other groups being marginalized to give you gap and space in order to find that space. However, when it really comes down to reality in America, though, it really does come. It comes down to like work ethic, ability, and so like.
But we have to also recognize the violence that's come with that, right? Like what happened in Tulsa, right? Like when Black people actually created their own community that was thriving and doing great, and people came and burned it. Right, burn it down.
Basically, jealousy, basically.
Yeah, so it's
100%.
It's this privilege, but it's a history of violence against other groups. So it's like there's violence. This violence is not new to us. Yeah. This violence is not new. There's a history, and so like we have to look at that history of violence and be like, okay, what is it stemming from, right? Yeah,
but the thing is, though, we love to try to articulate the history of violence on the hood is violent, or white people are violent, or you know what I mean. The only culture we never call violent is Asian culture, right?
I mean, because except for in China.
No, but
Myanmar.
But I'm saying like in America,
yeah,
right? Like as we sit here as like a Christian dude, as a black dude, and as a Muslim female, like we all have different like pillars of space that people say your culture is violent.
Yeah.
Like we've all lived in those different silos.
Sure.
And like I've definitely I get it. As like a white dude, like I have most favor in this space.
Yeah.
And or like in the history of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Luckily now we live in this new America where we're all having this conversation in the same space.
Right.
And in this space we're all equal.
Right.
Right? But we can't like let ourselves fall from these human nature is there's evil in some spaces of human nature and
of everywhere.
And we love to like always try to we always like to try to understand evil.
Yeah.
We always like to say, where did that come from? What was that person thinking about? It's
right.
like, dude, evil is fucking evil.
And evil is everywhere.
It's human.
And it's everywhere.
Sometimes.
And I totally 100,000% get what you're saying. And yeah, like evil is evil. I mean, we can talk about Democratic Republic of Congo. We can talk about Myanmar. We can talk about Romania. We can talk about all those Bosnia, Iraq. We can talk about I just mentioned every single color killing their people. So it is interesting. So
it's definitely a human thing.
It totally 100% is a human thing.
But I definitely feel like we're finally starting to have conversations across the world, really, right, of what that means to have empathy, right? We're having those tough conversations. I don't think we're where we need to be just yet. I definitely think we have a long journey ahead, but I feel like 2021 has really woken some people up, and collectively, more collectively than before, of like what is going on and how are we living and what can we do to move forward. And I think we're just at least addressing that there's a problem.
And
that's the first step.
And totally we too have to address that there's a problem. And also I do have to mention this, and this is pretty important, that like here in America, we're basically essentially like a full-blown human experiment, right? Where we have all these cultures in different from all walks of life coming into a space where we all live together. Pretty much no other country, maybe England, pretty much no other country has it like us. We're as diverse and mixed as we are, and no country has ever done that ever. And only us, right? And other countries are starting to do that, like Canada and England and all this other stuff. But like
not even close.
Not even
Canada is so
white. And so is England. But we have the majority of mixed people in one space.
And and it's so funny when people always like idolize Europe as far as being like culturally rich and diverse.
Yeah, bullshit.
But if you go to like Spain, Italy, France, Germany, UK, there's actually different like kind of like ethnic identities in each of those spaces. There's different languages.
Yeah.
So much so that like we think we don't have, like America talks about being like borderless or whatever. Dude, each state has like different identity, but like we've gotten along enough to like speak generally the same language. Which is cool. I mean, it's good to like influence like Espanol into, English or into American culture and stuff like that.
Right.
But like you go over to Europe and each space is like, what are you doing? You couldn't talk French, German, Italian, Greek. Spanish.
Yeah, and
like come on, that's not diverse. Like
no, it's not diverse. And you go play soccer, and then they see a black person like
So Europe's diverse, but not those countries.
Right, those countries exactly. And then so maybe
I'm an idiot for saying that.
No, you're right.
So, I think there's diversity within it, but I think that people from diverse diverse backgrounds stick together though.
Yeah, no,
they have their own community and people whereas here it's definitely more integrated. I feel like
more than anywhere else, right?
Yeah, and I bet you can go to like Berlin and like London, and those are diverse communities,
right? Because
I'm just saying like how the country did its thing,
right?
It's like, bro, you haven't even been talking with each other in the same language,
right? Mm-hmm. So it is interesting. So like, but at the same because we're technically like a human experiment. It does. Of course, we have these issues, right? Of course, we have racial issues. Of course, we have violence is violence, regardless of who and where and whatever. So it's like I do have to kind of calm down a little bit and think about that, like the fact that like guys, like we're all new and trying to figure this shit out called America.
Sure.
So and I love America, and I will always love America, specifically Southern California. If you're rich, black man, before Irvine, and
that's why we TikToking.
And that's why we're TikToking. Yeah, we're doing it for a reason, I swear.
It's so Cam doesn't go back to college.
Yeah, and so we can get rich and never have to worry about the law ever. I'm putting my whole family on. So at the end of the day, like, all love to everyone. That's why we have such a diverse podcast. We have more people coming in on different episodes and more in the future as well. We might have a guest next episode. Who knows?
It could be you.
It could be you. Or
win a chance,
right? So guys, at the end of the day, we love you all. We love you. We're all trying to love each other. We're all
spread love, y'all.
Spread love, trying to figure this crap
wins.
out. Love
right,
wins.
LJ, love wins.
Yeah,
love wins, y'all.
And I'm talking about the black people. I'm talking about the brown people. I'm talking about I'm not gonna say all the Asian people. We're talking about the Europeans, the Africans, the Mexicans, the South Americans, the Russian, whoever. I mean, Russians. Hey, stop hacking us for the love of God. Okay, like this is getting not cool. Okay.
You should try to hack our Instagram.
Stop it, please. Okay. So and
go after Cameron Study.
No, stop, Jesus Christ, no, I no, everyone.
He gonna get hurt.
Anyway, we love you guys, except for the whoever was booing Valencia in that one game or whatever. We love you all. We love you all.
And what I think is fun about this show is one. Sometimes I don't even remember what I said. I probably canceled myself today.
Yeah, me too.
But we are working on thinking about difficult things through a stream of consciousness and chatting about it.
Yeah.
We are going to get things wrong. Yeah. There's been times that I've listened to my own voice an hour after I said something and been like, I don't agree with that guy at all.
Totally.
So
we're not
perfect.
These perfect humans. I think we have to always recognize that we're learning and growing. We're lifelong learners, and we only learn from making mistakes.
Yep.
That's the only way it works.
Yeah. So this episode is totally cancel proof because we just said that, so we will make mistakes, and we're probably all wrong on this episode. So therefore, in the
except
future,
me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, in the future, when you look us up, when we're all rich and trying to get off of a court case, like I said, when I run a motherfucker over, you're gonna look back on this episode and be like, of course he did, because he said he was gonna do that. But then I'll be like, yeah, but you can't get me off because I'm rich and black in Southern California.
And we handle it in civil court.
We handle it in civil court, y'all. No decorum in court, period. So therefore, we love you all. Smart and Mild. Smart and Mild is pretty complete. We are out.
Episode 14.
Episode 14. My name is Cameron Study. This is LJ Loringstead. This is Elof. Or excuse me, just kidding. The curly-headed overlord.
Whoa, you doxed her.
I called her out of her name.
Oh, our official first doxing.
I called her out of her name. Wow.
My name is Elof, y'all. What's good?
Yeah, and we love you all, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you all.